Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local school district puts a pause on in-person learning due to cases of COVID-19, and COVID vaccination sites here in the Commonwealth see some shorter lines as the demand for the jab decreases.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It is just before 6 o'clock and it's Tuesday. I'm Dakota Makrist. Thank you so much for getting your day started with us. And let's get you started with our weather. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, if folks are heading out the door, well, I'd say it's a pretty calm morning for them.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for the rest of the day, except for one thing. The temperature is going down, not up today. It's going to go down, even though we see the sky slowly clear a little bit later on this afternoon. Let's take a look at current conditions up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain. A little bit of rain up there in the overnight, it looks like, but no major issues otherwise. We're going to continue to see those temperatures cool down, already into the 20s there in Louisville and Lexington, down to 30 in Moorhead and 33 in Irvin. But you still see some mid to upper 30s across parts of the area. Prestonsburg and Hazard, along with Somerset, tied at 3 ways there for the warmest at 39. That'll be a thing of the past. You can already see that back up towards Cincinnati, out toward Owensboro, some 20s out that way, and 31 this morning in the Tri-Cities. The average temperature for the day has gone up a degree, so it's out to 45. 40 is the forecast high, but that was at midnight, and then 69, the record high, back on this day in 1989. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, the Perry County School District is using NTI days all week as COVID cases climb here in Perry County. Our Jade Saylor has those details.
Many Perry County school employees tested positive for COVID-19, requiring them to follow the minimum 5-day quarantine, causing staffing issues for the school.
We just made the decision that we would shut down and go to NTI for 5 days and see if that helped. And talking with the health department, we really seem to be one of the hot spots again in Perry County. So we wanted to take every reasonable effort to make sure we're keeping our students and staff safe.
Perry County School District will be using NTI days January 24th through the 28th.
When you close for COVID, staff is required to report unless they are positive or quarantined. In that case, they can work from home if their job responsibilities allow that.
School district staff workers will begin delivering meals on January 25th to any students in need.
If you need meals, just contact 606-439-5813 and ask for the food service department. And that's for any students 18 years or under in our community, okay?
Moving forward, Superintendent Jonathan Jett hopes to have students back in-person learning by Monday, January 31st.
We know that they're going to learn better in person. So the goal is definitely to go back as quickly as possible. We'll be working with the local health department, looking at numbers and absences that are put in our program.
School officials will monitor cases and say they will make a decision the weekend of January 29th. In Perry County, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
One issue ahead of students possibly returning next week is the number of unvaccinated employees that require a minimum 10-day quarantine. COVID levels remain at record highs here in the Commonwealth, and now there is a case at the governor's mansion. Governor Andy Beshear opened his news conference yesterday with word that his son tested positive. Now he is okay. The first family is now taking precautions. Meanwhile, the state reported 3,912 new cases yesterday, bringing our case total to just more than 1,085,000. There were 22 deaths reported as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll at 12,763. The positivity rate is now more than 33%. While in quarantine, the governor shared some good news for Eastern Kentucky communities. The Kentucky Division of Abandoned Mine Lands is accepting applications for the 2022 AML grants. The deadline to submit for a grant is April 1st, 2022. The governor says these grants are creating hundreds of jobs and helping grow Eastern Kentucky communities.
Since the program's inception, 63 projects in 23 counties in Kentucky have received collectively $138 million in funding.
Previous successful grant applications include industrial development, workforce training, infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, and community wellness projects. The Commonwealth has experienced record-breaking COVID-19 stats for several weeks now, reflecting just how fast the Omicron variant is spreading. Dr. Stephen Stack took over for Governor Andy Beshear during the weekly COVID-19 briefing. Our Zach Hawk breaks down those trends.
94 to 95% of all of the COVID deaths in Kentucky since July 1st are in unvaccinated persons.
Since the Omicron surge first hit, testing demand has spiked, exceeding capacity despite testing sites statewide doubling the number of reported tests. Those tests revealed a pandemic high, more than 83,000 new cases last week.
These are records we'd be grateful not to set week after week and day after day now.
And hospitalizations are following the increase in positive cases, but those cases are not as severe as in previous waves.
Mercifully, the disease is not quite hitting people quite as hard, and it's not filling the hospitals proportionally to the same extent.
Dr. Stack attributes that to vaccines and prior infections. Further evidence is in that ICU utilization is well below peak levels last fall, and fewer people require ventilators. But the danger COVID-19 poses to the healthcare system as a whole remains.
We're running out of healthcare workers. And so there's a lot of beds in hospitals, and there's a lot of ventilators and a lot of other equipment, but not a lot of people to operate all this stuff.
He attributes the shortage to stress brought on by short staffing and daily trauma.
They are seeing death at a frequency and a regularity which is really unprecedented in any of our modern living histories. You'd have to go to a battlefield circumstance to get something comparable to the rate of death that they face on a regular basis in the hospital.
Wearing masks in public, staying home if sick, and getting vaccinated all help ease the burden on our hospitals. Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Federal health officials cautiously believe that the Omicron variant may have peaked in some locations. And last week, the White House's COVID response team said that we may be moving towards a time when COVID won't disrupt our daily lives. More than 2.8 million Kentuckians have rolled up their sleeves to get vaccinated against COVID. At the start of the Omicron surge, more people signed up to get the shot, but that is starting to slow down. Now some vaccine clinics in Fayette County are being canceled.
We would have 10 vaccines for every one test, and now that's completely flip-flopped, and we probably have one vaccine for every 10 tests that we do.
Doctors at UK Children's Hospital says the drop in vaccination is contrasted by an uptick in children hospitalizations due to Omicron, emphasizing that the shot is safe for kids. A new public service campaign is hoping to help with concerns Kentucky parents might have about COVID-19 vaccines for their children. High Five for Health is by the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky, helping address concerns voiced by parents and focus groups. The campaign also offers answers to frequently asked questions and provides 5 steps for parents to consider when getting their children vaccinated. Healthcare professionals strongly urge parents to download the free toolkit to improve outreach, spark critical conversations, and equip parents with the facts about COVID-19 vaccines. Well, it's not a prescription for pot, but a product that comes from the same plant. Pharmaceutical CBD, the stuff you can't buy at the store. Early studies show it could help prevent and treat COVID-19. The findings started at the University of Chicago, where parents taking CBD for epilepsy appeared to be less vulnerable to COVID, something researchers never expected. The University of Louisville wanted to verify those results. They tested the product on human lung tissue and mice.
We found that there were lower viral loads, which indicates lower viral replication in the nasal tissues and the lungs.
Researchers want to take their efforts a step further, pushing for a human clinical trial. Their only real hurdle in getting started is funding. The Big Blue Slam Blood Drive kicked off yesterday. This is the 14th year for the competition between the UK and the Florida Gators. It's a chance for Kentucky fans to help save lives through the Kentucky Blood Center. This year's drive comes as the nation is facing a major blood shortage due to the pandemic. Well, the drive runs through Friday, and folks here in Eastern Kentucky have a few different options to join in. 2 of Kentucky's 6 KBC donation centers are here in our region. You can find those in Pikeville and Somerset. There are also 2 mobile blood drives people can take part in. One of those is over in Morgan County on Thursday. That will run from 12:30 through 6 p.m. The other is in Letcher County on Friday from 1 to 6 p.m.
6:08 here on this Tuesday morning. Cold and getting colder. Yes, we're going in the wrong direction today instead of going up later this afternoon. Let's take a look at our temperatures right now. Again, 30 in Moorhead, 33 in Irvin, still in the upper 30s in many locations, but the cold front is into parts of southwest Virginia this morning, so that means temperatures are going to drop as those skies continue to clear out. We are still almost 20 degrees warmer in some locations this morning than we were this time yesterday morning. Harlan and Wise only single-digit degrees warmer than this time yesterday. 40 was our forecast high at midnight. We'll be in the low 30s by this afternoon. I think it's a slow clearing at this point. I had a 20% chance for some sprinkles or some flakes in there early. I think we could take that out at this point. But as we head deeper into the forecast pattern, we are going to see temps tumble. Sunshine does return either late today or tomorrow for sure, and we could be seeing an end-of-the-week snow system move into play by Friday. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. The time is 6:09. When we come back, U.S. troops are on high alert as tensions between Russia and Ukraine continues to grow.